Yo, what's really good? Hawks Nation. We back. And we are over 500. Finally. The first time. Excuse me, family. First time in 2022, our Atlanta Hawks are over 500. Good game today. I mean, at this point, at this point, it's like Nate McMillan. He just got to throw together lineups of whoever is available at the time. But I can live with that. I mean, we can't avoid the injuries. We can't avoid the injuries. So, at the end of the day, we really have to do what we have to do to win these games. And I mean, some days is good, and y'all know some days is not good. But today was an excellent day, man. Excellent game. We jumped out on them early. We didn't let them back. Well, there was one point to where they almost got back, almost got that game from us. Almost tried to steal the game, but the boys stayed resilient and we pull out the dub. And I'm very excited and happy about that. Talk to me, analyst. What's your thoughts on the game today, bro?
Listen, man, I'm just really happy that we were able to get over 500. I feel like it was something that we had an opportunity to do multiple times. I feel like now we're in a really good position. But for us tonight's game, I knew that Indiana wasn't going away. They didn't go away last time. They 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 continue to fight hard, and you know, although their record says who they are. They are a pretty talented team with Buddy and Tyrese and a couple of their rookies. So they're definitely an opponent that you have to still come out and play hard against. And
Yep.
I thought we did that. I thought we didn't come out playing around with them. We typically don't come out and play around with the Pacers. I think that we always, I don't know, I guess for some reason, it's a good reason, take the Pacers seriously. And I really do just appreciate that from the guys. But over 500, really glad that we are.
Man, listen. I'm over here, man, and I'm just like, bro, all the hopes and the I don't know. I hate to use this word, but dreams that I had for us at the beginning of the season, man. It's let me tell you something, man. Like these this team, man, like you gotta be a real fan to root for these guys, man. Cause these dudes will one day have you stressed. The next day they have you looking at the team like, where had these guys been all season? And granted, you know, just like like my boy Juan said, yeah, we terrible defensively, but at least the shots was falling. And when our shots are falling, man, we are a hard team to beat. But my concern is, what are we doing when shots don't fall? What is our plan B if shots are not going in? You only really got a couple options. Find a different way to score the ball, or um play good defense so that until you can get the shots to fall. Um I think tonight the shots was falling. We came out early. I think we had like 7 3-pointers in the first quarter. Um and like when our shots are falling, man, like Bogey, he was on fire, bro, today. Like he's just pulling up, whap, whap, whap. And I love to see the his confidence back. Because when Bogey's on fire, that number two option notion kind of you he giving you what 25 when he really cooking, you know what I'm saying? And he get the starter minutes. Obviously, he's not starting right now, but I mean he give you those starter He give you those starter numbers that you would want from a number 2. Because if we had somebody else giving us 25 a night, then we wouldn't be crying. I mean, let me stop using that word. We wouldn't be asking for a number 2. What's your thoughts on Bogey performance tonight, analyst?
I thought Bogey played well. I felt like the way that he was able to just do his job and more. I think that tonight, I don't feel like it was something where Bogey. It was one of those things where it's just like if Bogey, like I feel like Bogey just played a part in us doing what we were supposed to do, which is come out and get on him early. I thought, if you look at the shots, Bogey went perfect there for a second. And he was just hitting shots. And I like what I saw from him tonight. I think that I like you said, the confidence with Bogey, I'm really glad to see that back with him. Because missing last game, getting all that time off, although it's a good time to rest, it can also get you out of the rhythm. So I like what I see from Bogey. And Big O, listen, I mean, I think that Trey tonight. I was just responding to him. I think that Trey tonight did what he was supposed to do in finding his guys. Recognize that he didn't have the best shooting night. Some of those shots were at the end of the shot clock. Listen, I think that Trey did what he was supposed to do tonight. He got 15 assists.
Well, that's what a star player is supposed to do, man. And I've been saying that, you got to recognize, hey, I'm not feeling it tonight, which is cool. It's cool if you're not feeling it. Let's get the ball to the players who are feeling it, because at the end of the day, for a Trae Young, who's a superstar, who's the face of a franchise, at the end of the day, it really don't matter who's scoring the points, who winning the game. As long as we win the game, when we win, that still benefits Trae Young and his brand. Nothing can really top winning. But before we go into the player range, let me shout out the chat. Who we got in the chat? We got the boy Langston, Juan up in the building. Shout out Big O. Shout out Drummer Boy. My boy Tangu. Patrick in the building. Shout out my boy Pockets. We got Jay Will. Shout out Jay. She always up in here. Okay. Hornets lost. I like it. Before we go on to player range, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Jalen Johnson's performance tonight. So Drummer Boy said that type of play is an alternative style that is great when outside shots are not falling. Tonight they were falling, and we had Jalen putting on the dunk fest. What you think about Jalen's performance tonight? Without going too much in depth, because we still got to do the player ratings. But real quick, what's your thought on Jalen's performance tonight?
I tell you what, Jalen was looking like he wanted to take someone's spot tonight. Listen, for how young he is, realizing that he was at first supposed to be a top 10 pick, but he got pushed back because of some issues in college. I think that he really, I think that we got a good one. He played really well. I feel like when you go, what do you got? I think 6 for 8 as a rookie. As a forward, I think that says a lot. For you to go 6 for 8, you're able to get to the basket. I see his confidence with shooting the ball. I see his defense. He had to steal tonight. So I really liked what I saw from JJ tonight. And to me, I think that he can help us win 2 more games, down the stretch here.
I agree with you, man. After we do the player ratings, we're gonna talk a little bit more about JJ.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. Before we start the player ratings, let me bring in my boy, the one and only Lou. Star Skis in the building. What's going
up,
on,
Lou?
my guy? Lou, question for you. How does it feel to be over 500 for the first time in 2022?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It feels actually pretty good. But y'all already hit it on the head. Like I thought I was gonna come on and be like, Jalen Johnson, I've been talking about it.
Dude's good. He's a first round pick. He's good.
Did you not see how just easy he made the game? I don't know. But anyways, back to your question. I'm sorry. How good does it feel to be over 500? It feels okay. It feels just okay because my expectations were higher. If we win this game, if we win out everything and we get 6 games above 500 and we're playing good going into the playoffs, that's good. But our challenges are Brooklyn, Charlotte. It's in front of us. It's all in front of us. Let's get into the real playoffs and let's make some noise.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this before we start these player ratings. I hope we go on a run because I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's the perfect time to do it.
I don't want to meet Brooklyn in the first round in the play-in. I really don't, especially
I
if
don't
they're gonna
either.
be healthy. And
And I heard Kyrie can now play. What happened to the virtue signal? All of a sudden, when the money's on the line, that shit stops. Like, come on.
You know how they do, man. You know how they do. You know how they do. But we'll talk about that some other time.
I was gonna say, in order for us to not play Brooklyn, we got to keep winning, and we got to hope Charlotte keep losing.
Yeah, we got to do something, man. All right, guys, let's start with these player ratings, family. Y'all know how we do it. Player rating time. Player ratings are so easy to do after a win, bro. I try to tell you, man.
We're going right into it.
It is so easy. Okay, let's start with I usually start with a bench. We'll start with the starters tonight. We'll start with analyst TLC tonight. 30 minutes. I don't even remember last time he played 30 minutes in an NBA game, period. 30 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 for 6 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 5 for 6 from the free throw line, 2 steals. Talk to me. He had 3 turns. Talk to me, analyst, about TLC's impact tonight.
I thought tonight, I like what I saw from him most of the game, and I didn't. I thought that at times, he was just being, a little, was like, calm down a little bit, TLC. I do realize I do realize that he touches a lot when he plays defense, which causes fouls. He picked up some quick fouls. He got them in the bonus there a little early in the quarter. I'll give TLC an 8 tonight. It was a good win. He played a part in it, played good defense. But the 3 turnovers and the fouls, I just think that he's got to cut down on that. But other than that, I thought TLC played well tonight.
All righty. I'll go ahead and give mine real quick. I'm giving TLC an 8 tonight. Outstanding performance. Whenever you got a guy coming off the bench, he can give you 13 points as a starter in 30 minutes. Very efficient, 50% from the field, 50% from 3. I'll take that any day. I don't care who's shooting it. I'll take that any day. What you got on TLC, Lou?
When I first saw TLC in the lineup, I immediately started to rate Nate McMillan lower and lower. I was like, really? You're not just going to just try something different? Like, just try to start JJ? Like, I was very disappointed in the fact that he started. But if we're just rating him, he did all right. I give him a 7.
Okay, that's a 7. Okay, the chat pretty much agree with us. You see 7s and 8s. Okay. All right, next player we got DeLon Wright. 31 minutes, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 3 turns. He was a +5 on the court tonight. I started off the night. I'm giving DeLon Wright an 8. Great defensive performance coming in as a starter. I mean, he did exactly, what I want him to do. I don't need him to give me 15 points a night. Play good defense, which that's what he did. He had 3 turns. I mean, I don't really hold. No, excuse me. Oh, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, he had 3 turns. He had 3 steals, so they cancel each other out. But then he gave you 2 blocks. So that's 2 blocks from the point guard position. Yeah, easily an 8 for DeLon Wright tonight. What you got on that, Lou?
Misdirections are not even accounted for. Like, I'm telling you, the man is our best strategic defender. Like, he's smart. Every time he plays, he's trying to position himself in a way where he thinks he's taking away something. And I just think that now that he kind of got shut down and then kind of brought back in, that might have been some Jedi mind trick by Nate. One of the good things that he's done is because ever since he said that he's going to shorten the rotation, and all of a sudden he's gotten this almost immediate chance to start, which kind of changes the vibe. I think the loans play. I think he's been focused 100% instead of just 70%, and now it's really showing what he can do as a defender.
All right.
I give him a 7.
Okay, 7. Let me introduce my guy. Finally made it up here. We be going back and forth at New Pack City. Always love my guy Juan. What's good, my guy? Welcome.
Oh, shit. This is Juan. What's up, Juan?
What up, gentlemen? What
Put
up?
him on
Can
the
y'all hear
big
me?
screen. Put him on the big screen.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. What's good, man?
Yeah, man. Look, I'm just happy we won the game, man. 7 out of our last 10. Bogey got 30 points again for the second time in the last 3 games, averaging 25 points over the last 3 games, minus that dud from Detroit. But the last 3 to 4 games, he's been stepping up as the number 2, like literally carrying that second the bench offense. As you was looking at the game, they were going to him. He was the primary scorer. If he didn't have the shot or have the drive, they'll be kicking it out to Double O and Jalen. And Jalen just come in, just like you said, man. He brings another dynamic to this offense. Kid's still learning defensively, but you can't teach athleticism, and that's what he brings to the Hawks nightly. And like I said, 11.5 points. Yeah, youth. 11.5 points over the last 2 games he's played with extended minutes. Happy for the kid, man. I mean, we could have used this all year long.
Season.
As I shout out Lou, a couple games ago when he scored 11 those 11 points against Detroit. Man, we could have used this the whole time. TLC just gonna shoot threes. This dude is gonna rebound. He's gonna box out. He's gonna block some shots. And again, he had the highest plus minus on the team, and had the second highest plus minus against the Detroit game, even in that dud.
I don't understand it. I mean, bravo, Juan.
You should understand it. He playing just like the other rookies. He playing when time is available. Why? Due to injury. Let's be honest here.
JC played. Trey played.
If JC won't hurt, or and Gallo won't hurt, he wouldn't be playing. And that was my point. I was like,
it's a shame.
He needs an opportunity. And let's be honest here. Let's be honest here.
My point is, it's a shame.
Let's be honest. You're not gonna give a rookie an opportunity when you got a $125 million dude here and his backup is Gallo. It's no opportunity there. It's none.
You can't find a spot to just double up and make your shit bigger. Like, okay, you can't play him at the 3.
Listen.
You don't have a shooter. You can't try.
Listen.
Man, that's outrageous.
No, you know what you sound like, Lou? You know what you sound like? You sound like you need to be coaching Oklahoma City or the Orlando Magic. Okay,
nah, bro.
When you trying to compete, when you trying to compete for a championship, let's be honest. At the beginning of the season, we all thought that, right? We thought we was competing for a championship at the beginning of the season.
In Miami, what's that tall dude's name from Iran? What's that tall dude's name from Iran?
Oh, you mean the dude who was
Omir?
You mean the dude who was lighting our ass up on the boards because we're too small?
He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
And they played due to injury. But we're gonna come back. We'll talk about that later. Let me get analysts. Let me get your player rating on DeLon Wright tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard for me to rate DeLon. I like what he did.
Remember, just for this game, man. Don't worry about what he did in the past. It's just this game.
I know.
See it in his eyes.
How did he perform in this game only? Nothing else matters. Just this game.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, he did solid, but like Tengu said, I mean, Buddy Hield's bodying him. But I'll give him a 7. We won, but I don't feel like he really did. Like he was solid on defense, pretty good on offense.
That's his card, though, right? That's his card, though, right, analyst?
But when you're starting and you're playing 30 plus minutes, I mean, listen, I'm not going to complain too much because it was enough for us to win, obviously. But I mean, I think the expectations rise a little bit when you're starting. But listen, I thought he played well. The 3 turnovers were, is something to look at. But I did like the block. But DeLon was just pretty good tonight. One bad, one really good as usual. But I'll give him a 7 tonight.
Man, y'all be underestimating
Hey.
DeLon Wright. Yo, Juan,
Did y'all talk about
Yeah,
what you got?
DeAndre?
What you got on my guy DeLon Wright
Hey,
tonight, bro?
real
Hold up,
quick,
Lou. Hold up, Lou.
I just got to ask you a question. Did y'all
You'll
already
never give
talk about
Travis the credit for DeLon.
D Hunter having knee soreness?
Yeah.
No, we're
that
gonna do these
right
player
knee.
ratings first.
Yeah. Hey, I gave DeLon a 6, man. The reason why that's so high, if you really listen to the broadcast, he was the one calling out the defensive sets on the floor.
He does
That's
a
how
lot.
quiet it was.
Smart.
That's how quiet it was in there. Like he was calling defensive sets on the floor, not Clint Capella. So that's like a attribute or something that we don't talk about. It was that quiet in that stadium that you could hear DeLon calling the defensive sets out there. So give him kudos to that. As far as the offensive side, that dude's not going to turn the ball over, man. Like he just don't do that. He's either going to pass the ball up or set a good screen, but he's not. It's like he's not scared to shoot the ball because DeLon last year averaged 10 points with Sacramento.
It was greedy.
He had like 10 to 15, 20-point games. So he can shoot, but like I think it's Bogey and Trey first, and then Herter before he gets his shot off, man. Even TLC was jacking him up out there, you know what I mean, before DeLon was.
I do not like TLC anymore.
I know he's just not going to shoot the ball, but the dude did play solid defense. Buddy Hield was giving him some buckets outside and inside. I give him that. But if you listen closely, that dude was calling all the switches and calling all the defense. So I give him a 6 on that part right there.
Yeah, Pacers fan base is awful.
That's why I gave him a 7.
Well, I mean, they
I
don't
caught
really have
that
nothing.
too.
They don't have really nothing to cheer for.
No.
I mean, State Farm Arena will be the exact same way.
Stop it.
What you mean? Stop it.
Stop it. Let's not even.
Why not? 'Cause I'm sure you remember getting. Don't talk. Hey, aren't you a person who used to get free tickets?
I went to a
got
couple.
free tickets.
I went to a couple Hawks games during that.
Don't
rough
tell
year,
me
man.
you ain't
I was
taking
a
advantage of
paid
them free
customer.
tickets they was giving out in Atlanta.
I was a paid customer.
Don't even play me like that, bro. All right, let's move on to the next. All right, so we're gonna start with our new guest up here, Juan. Juan, give me your player rating on Clint Capella. Tonight, Clint Capella had 31 minutes. Oh, he had a monster game. 22. He gave you 22 and 15.
-5.
3 assists,
Yeah,
11 for 15, 2 turns, -5. What you got on Clint Capella tonight, Juan?
So I addressed the defensive side. So Clint, man, they kept putting him in switches all night long, and like
Bad ones.
they were burning him for jumps. Like even Lance Stevenson knew this. Lance Stevenson had 10 points in the fourth quarter. You know, so they was putting him on switches, and he couldn't defend the perimeter player. So that's why that negative drop for him was right there. But as far as offensively, that dude called every alley that Trey threw to him. Every single one. I mean, he had a couple A moments. He had a couple A moments like he always do, but that dude was dunking all over whatever his name was. There was one play where Trey had Capella had set the screen, and their center was still looking at Trey, and Clint just slipped right behind him for a nasty alley-oop that Trey found him. You know, so he was scoring everything. It's one of his better offensive games in like a couple months. So I give him like a 9.
Talk to me, analyst. What you got on Clint Capella tonight, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
I gotta stop muting my mic.
You know, his stats look good. I thought that this is the kind of night we need from Clint. But you know, throughout the game, I was jotting down some things just in case Rashad wanted to, defend his one clip tonight. I mean, first of all, I mean, you know, he did do one of his famous acts tonight. I counted that this time he got 3 rebounds and he missed all the shots, and then he also missed the layup. But you know, listen, I'll give Clint an 8 tonight. I liked what he get. I like what he did. But again, if you look at their starting center, I mean, you made a good point, Juan, about the switching. But you know, when you look at I think they started Jalen Smith at center tonight. You can't lose a mismatch to Jalen Smith. I mean, they were switching.
He didn't lose it. He gave you 22 and 15. What you talking? He put buckets on them boys.
He just said 4 of them rebounds were on the same play.
I don't care how you got the boards, pimp.
And then I tell you what. And then, you know, I was thinking about this. I mean, I'm so glad we got Trey and a couple guys that can initiate the pick and roll, because if not, none of our bigs would even be relevant. They can't do anything unless we run a pick and roll. I got to give Trey a little bit of credit for that.
We only got one big. To be honest with you. What you got on them, Lou, tonight?
I'm kind of looking back over it. I was gonna say a 7, but I think he gets an 8 tonight because of the points are way above what I would expect from him.
Okay, I'm giving Clint a 10. 22 and 15. Come on, man. Clint was on fire tonight, man. I don't know what more y'all want from the dude. 22 and 11 for 17. Come on, man.
And rebounded three times.
I don't care, but see, let me tell you something. All them 3 rebounds you laughing about could have been one rebound, and the other team could have got the ball. So I mean, I don't care what he does, as long as he tap, but if go in, it's good with me. You know what I'm saying?
He gave you a couple A's too.
Hey, considering Clinton's our only big, I mean, hey, I gave him credit, man, because he only went out there really doing work.
You played 17 minutes. That was
Clint out there doing work by himself, man, because we don't have no other big to spare him or nothing. So I mean, 15 boards, led us in boards. He had more rebounds than who led the Pacers in rebounding. He had more than Pacers. So hey, he get a 10 from me, man. I gotta tip my cap. I'm gonna get credit when it's due. You feel me?
That's one of his better offensive games in a minute, man.
Yeah, shit. All right, next player, Kevin Huerter. 34 minutes, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 8 for 13 from the field, 6 for 10 from 3-point land. That's 60%. That's amazing. 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls. Lou, talk to me about Kevin Huerter. What you rating him tonight, player?
I think he was aggressive all night. I thought he was decisive. I'm going to give him an 8 for sure. I thought he played winning.
You don't sound too confident in that 8, bro.
Well, no, I'm just saying he played a lot of minutes, but he's just a durable piece that if he plays like this, then we're good. We're good. Like we're solid. Like if we can the shit breaks down and all of a sudden he swings to him and he hits these shots, then we can ball out.
All right, talk to me, Kevin Huerter. What you rating him tonight, my guy?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go one above Lou, and I'm gonna give him a 9 only because he set it off in the first quarter. Man, that boy came out flaming hot. Like
chicken grease.
Chicken grease, man. Every pass Trey was hitting for him was in number net. You know what I mean? Right. I looked up at one point, he had 20, he was 14 points, and then he had 22, and I was like, dang, where this come from Kayvon? So yeah, man, he get a 9. He played some pretty good defense as well. Like you said, he didn't really foul because Huerter gets in foul trouble a lot when it's aggressive guards out there, wings out there. And yeah, man, like I think he just saw the opportunities. Like I'm gonna get mine tonight, and like if he playing like that, like Lou said, like it's gonna be really hard to beat us when he's playing like that. He don't have to score 22. He give you 17, 18 points nightly. It's gonna be real hard to beat us moving forward.
It's really that 60%, it's like if he shot 4 times and shot 60%, if we could consistently count on him shooting like that,
that's the problem. You can't. But let's move on to analysts. What you got for your boy tonight? Go and give him a team.
Bursting bubbles.
Hey, Huerter. Listen, he made me proud tonight, but I'll tell you what, I was gonna give Huerter a 10. I'll drop it to a 9. But listen, I do think that Huerter played well tonight. I think that we're starting to slowly start to, see playoff Kevin Huerter, which is what we need. I just like the way that he's not overindulging in shots. He's not just taking shots just to take shots. His percentages tell you that. I mean, 60% from 3 off of 10 attempts. That tells you, taking into consideration some at the last minute of the shot clock, that tells you that he's taking, pretty smart shots other than that. So, I mean, I like what I see from Huerter, but it's going to take a little bit more for me to give him a 10. I hold him to high standards. I may favor him a little bit, but you get a 9 from me tonight.
Well, I don't want to
I feel you.
downplay Nana dying though, so that's good for us.
Yeah.
I'm giving Kevin Herter 8 tonight. He was cooking, but just like usual, Kevin Herter, he'll cook for 1 quarter and then go the rest of the game and give you, minimum production.
But that's okay as long as his spacing then becomes something that they respond to. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they would open up the drives a lot tonight.
Come
There
on,
was
bro.
One play.
Are you for real right now, Lou?
Hey,
Yeah,
Are,
that's how
are you
basketball works.
serious? Are you
Hey,
serious?
Demar-
Well, it
There was-
wasn't something that really hurt us since Bogey got going.
Are we for real right now?
there was one play.
Hey, you see what Lou
Demar,
doing?
where TLC caught a steal and Halliburton went out to try to guard the 3-pointer instead of trying to attack the TLC because our spacing was so good tonight from the 3-point line.
But my thing is this: teams already know what we do. We are a jump shooting 3-point team. That's nothing new. The thing is, you know what the difference was tonight, guys? The
Good
shots was going
They
in.
falling. Oh yeah, they falling.
But guess what?
18
When them
threes?
shots don't fall,
We got to attack the rim.
which we
Yes,
don't
exactly. Which we don't.
do. So I mean,
So who's
like
on
that's
that?
why, bro. That's
Well,
why
Trey
I'm
does,
not.
but
That's why I'm not
we
drinking
don't.
the Kool-Aid right now.
Or have
Because-
a post player. Yeah, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Because
The fact
we
that,
not.
but the fact that Gallo's our best post player and he only plays every other game, that's not good.
Well, you know what's finna happen? We probably gonna end up riding them like the Knicks did last year with Derrick Rose, and he probably gonna get injured. That's all. I'm just waiting for Gallo to get injured.
His elbow was swollen, man. That's why
Yeah,
he
man.
went on brand, man. We can't. He got fluid in. Like we can't play around with it. He already ain't got no ankles. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like you
man.
start, you take away his elbow. Now he just a vegetable.
And it's so sad because he's literally our best post player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move
We
on,
could have gotten
fellas.
DeMarcus Cousins. Ugh.
Let's move on, fellas. Trey Young tonight, 36 minutes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 16 assists.
I like this Trey Young.
You do? I don't. 4 for 13. God dang. 2 for 9 from 3. Jesus Christ, man. 2 turns. I'll go first, man. I'm giving Trey Young. I'm giving Trey Young a 5 tonight.
That's hard.
Terrible. What?
Give it
Terrible shooting performance. 4 for 13. Terrible 3-point. 2 for 9. 2 steals, but that's canceled out by the 2 turns. I will give him credit. I actually saw him trying to pass the ball to the players that's hot. Finally, Jesus, I don't know how long I've been waiting
Plus
for that.
one right there.
But I mean, on the offense side of the ball, he was terrible, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and say, bro, 4 for 13, 2 for 9. That's terrible. And if that was anybody else shooting that, everybody be like 5, 4, 6.
In my book,
So I don't. Hey, he get a 5 from me, man. Talk to me, Lou.
in my book, you get a point guard to get you 16 dimes, nasty ones,
Exactly.
tough ones.
Without him,
I
no
mean,
one else
just
does anything.
ridiculous.
Man, come on, man. It's the Pacers, bro.
Times.
Nah,
It's
don't be
the
trying to pull the
Pacers,
Pacers, dog.
dog.
Doesn't matter.
No, man.
Pacers ain't got nothing to do with us making shots. Pacers
See,
ain't
y'all
got
be
nothing to do with
saying
him
that.
sharing
Y'all
the
be
ball.
using that same
These
excuse
guys
I
get
just said.
paid
Y'all be using
money.
that against other players. Man, this is the if he can't get 16 dimes against the sorry Pacers, but come
Hey,
on, man.
I'd
I'm
rather
just
him
glad-
get
listen.
the 16 dimes than not get the 16 dimes.
No, I'm
And
glad he
talking
got
about
the
how he
16.
didn't get the
Well,
16 dimes.
I'm glad he
Because
got
without
the
the
16
16
dimes
dimes, you
because
can
his
propel
shooting
him.
won't worth a
14 and
damn
8.
tonight.
14 and 8. I see what you're talking about. 16 and 14 on a night where he was specifically hitting hot players.
Look at how much he gave Clint.
I give him a 7.5,
I don't
but
care
you don't
what he
let me.
gave
So I'm gonna
Clint.
go
I'm
7.
looking at what he gave himself. 2 for 9 from 3. Listen, man.
Okay.
2 for 9 from 3. Hold up. 4
Yeah,
for 13 from the
Yeah,
field.
Clint-
If that was listen,
uh,
if that was Kevin Herter, if that was DeAndre
Clint's
Hunter,
movement. Clint
if that was DeAndre Hunter, if that was Bogey, y'all be up here talking about 5, 6.
Hey, Clint
Come
took
on,
those
man.
Clint took those pinpoint passes and took them from here and moved them right there.
Exactly. He gave him a 10.
Well, he should. We
But
playing.
Trey
He
orchestrated
should.
it through traffic.
We're playing
I
one of
know.
the worst teams in the league.
It don't
Come
matter.
on. It does matter,
Yeah,
bro.
We've
Don't
lost.
say
We've
it
lost
don't
to some of the
matter.
worst teams in the
Don't
league.
say
We've lost to
exactly.
these
That's why it
teams.
matters. Listen, man. Listen. Listen, man.
Go ahead,
4
please.
for 13 from the field. 2 for 9 is freaking terrible. I don't care how you slice it. It's terrible. I need at least, listen, when it comes to Trae Young, I need 20, 25 points, man.
Hey, Demond.
Period.
Hey, Demond. Do you
And
remember
guess
when?
what?
Do you remember when? Do you remember when he jumped up and snatched that pass, snatched it, went all the way down, and then later? Did you remember that shit?
I remember that.
I remember that shit.
Yeah.
I tell you
Man?
what.
Go ahead, talk to me, analyst. What you rating Trae tonight, man?
I tell you what. I'll give Trae.
I give him a 7, by the way.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8. Because I feel like that him being able to you were picking on me and Rashad Tulsi, you analytic guys don't look at context. If you look at his shots tonight, one of them was at the end of the shot clock. 2 of them spent in, spent out, which it really should have been in, but it's spent in, spent out.
That's a miss, bro. What?
It's spent in, spent out. I mean,
That's a miss, bro. What are you talking about?
Right there.
But you gotta put context.
Oh, pimp. That's like when Clint throw the ball up and it spin off the rim and come off and y'all laugh.
Hey,
Clint is right there.
Y'all get because y'all biased, man. Y'all biased. Y'all got favorite players on the team.
16 assists. Without him, Clint Capella is awful. Without him, Clint Capella just has empty
16 assists is body.
I didn't say 16 assists wasn't good, bro. I just said he shot like shit.
Right, he did.
And I need his production. Thank God everybody else was hot because he wasn't. I would, you know what? I'll give him another point because usually he'll shoot the shit 20 times and he'd be 6 for 20.
Oops, sorry.
So what you rate them tonight, analyst?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I'll give him an 8 for him getting everyone else involved. For him realizing that he didn't have it tonight and not trying to take it over and tricking off the game.
Okay. What you got tonight, Mr. Juan?
Yeah, I'm with Lou, man. I give him a 7. What we didn't talk about was his defense. This is one of the most active games. The Trae was very played a lot of defense. He had a couple steals. He was attacking passing lanes. He was switching out on the perimeter defenders. I know it's the Pacers, man. I know they trash, but I mean, this is what we want Trae to do. He went had the shots falling, but he was finding everybody else. And just like analysts said and Lou said, if it wasn't for Trae, Clint don't have 24 points. He was finding them every time. He found Jalen Johnson for a 3-quarter pass for alley-oop.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? That nobody talking about. You know what I mean? Like even the Pacer analyst was like, man, this dude is finding them all night long. He didn't shoot well, played good defense, took care of the ball, was finding his teammates. He's gonna have nights like this. You gotta remember, Trae averages the most points against the Pacers. He's averaging somewhere around 35 points a game against them. He scores the most points against these guys. He torches them every single time. And tonight he didn't have it, but he had it. I mean, he's magical with the passing. So I give him a 7, man. He was pretty good on both sides of the ball tonight.
Got it. Lou, did I get your rating on Trae Young tonight?
It was 7 also.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay. Bogey Bogdanovic. We're gonna start with Juan. 29 minutes, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 8 for 14 from the field, 5 for 7 from the field. From 3. 8 for 10 from the free throw line. He had 1 turnover. He was a +8. Juan, talk to me about Bogey and what you rate him.
Man, I give him a 9. The only reason I give him a 9 because he missed a couple bunnies at the free throw line. But this dude was outstanding, man. Outstanding. Did you not see the crossover? He hit the center with and step back, splash a 3 and walked off like I got this all night. Don't even come out here. I give him a 9, man. He was nasty tonight. Carried the bench. Was that second star that we need. Has been the second star for the last week from us. He started to show up. You could tell when his knee was bothering him against Detroit. When he shot 5 for 16, he wasn't really good. But the knee, he got a couple days off. Got to need some treatment. Came back and torched him for another 29 points, man. 9 for me.
I'm giving Bogey a 10 tonight. I'm giving him a 10 based off this one play, man. Like, this is the energy we need. I don't know if y'all saw this. He shot that corner 3, missed it, went and got his own rebound. Tried to shoot it again, got his own rebound again, threw it to TLC, and then TLC jacked it up, fucked it up. But where is this effort? But if the whole team played with this much effort and hustle, maybe we would have already been above 500 weeks ago. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, this is what Bogut showed me right there. That reminded me, that was like we was in a playoff game, bro. Like, you use up that much energy. And we was already up 12, I think.
Yep.
And he put forth that much energy during that time. That's what we need from everybody for 48 minutes. So I'm giving Bogey a 10. Bro, the dude gave you 20. What? Let me look again. He gave you 29 points in 29 minutes on 14 attempts. Come on. 5 for 7 from 3. The boy was hotter than fish grease. Lou, talk to me about Bogdanovich, baby.
9.
Okay.
Easy 9 too. He did everything like everybody's already said. He did what he had to do. He hit the shots that he needed to hit. He walked with the swag that we need him to walk with. It was really the confidence that he infused in the other players. He's also a player like Delon Wright that's really smart strategically. It doesn't always work, but he's always thinking and always grinding, and that's good on the defensive end because he doesn't really have the physical tools to just dominate. So, I think he's getting into a nice little groove, a nice little lather. And this is what we want. It doesn't matter anymore about those other 70-something games. Like, we want them to go on a groove now because we've seen it before and we've seen it and we know what they can do. And if we get our guys going, I don't care if it's the Pacers. This is good.
Man, one thing I've got to point out about Bogey, man, the dude got above average handles, man. Like, it doesn't get talked about enough. He can get separation on almost anybody, as slow as his crossover is, And then number 2 is Bogey's pretty strong. I don't know if you guys see it or not. He boxes out sometimes. He don't play good perimeter defense, I give you that. But he's pretty strong. You can't just body him in the post like that. He's pretty solid on the post, pretty strong when it's time to box out, and he got above average handles, which is what I see on a nightly.
Talk to me, analyst. What you got, Bogey, for the night, my guy?
Yeah, I mean 10. I mean, to me, I mean, without him, and obviously without him, receiving trade assists, but without him stepping up, it's just it's no question that this game would have been a lot closer than what it was. Being able to have Bogey come in, hit shots, be on fire, draw fouls, like if I say he missed his shot, got it back. It was just, I saw that it was just so much effort there from Bogey tonight, and it came out as positive tonight. Listen, if we would have lost, I would have looked at the free throw and said, hey, Bogey 9. But I think that tonight, since we got the win, he played a tremendous part in that win. I think that I have to give Bogey his 10. I mean, 20. What do you have? 27 points.
29.
29 as a guy coming off your bench. It's to me, it's just, and then he was finding guys to me. Bogey just, he played well. Like you all say, he's just being that second star that we need right now.
All righty, we going to Lou. Lou, talk to me about Onyeka Okongwu. 17 minutes, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 block, 2 steals, plus 14 on the floor. What you got for Onyeka Okongwu tonight?
Shows that he's a really smart basketball player with his plus minus score being that high, but I just obviously he didn't give us nearly enough. So I'm gonna say a 6. But I still love
question, Lou. Okongwu minutes have been going down as of late.
Right.
What's your thoughts behind that?
I don't know. I don't like that. I mean, maybe he's trying to see what other people can do. Maybe he's trying to see what how many long minutes other people can log. Maybe they're trying to do other type of analytics. But for D Wright and TLC to start over Okongwu, I think it's just silly.
Talk to me, Juan. What you got? What you rate Okongwu tonight, player? Okongwu stats didn't really pop out to you tonight, you know what I mean? But, he did his role for what he's supposed to do, He didn't come in and get you a lot of points. had nice energy out there. Was playing. It was kind of box out. They're saying I forget that dude's name, man. Forget it. I mess it up all the time. But you know, I won't say he was there, but I mean, it wasn't nothing eye popping. Just like you said, Demont. Excuse me. He had a plus 14. I think that was like the highest outside of Jalen, as far as plus minus. So he wasn't playing dumb basketball, which can, lose again to his smartness as a basketball player. But like I think 7, man. That's
Any thoughts
it's
on
not
why
bad.
his minutes been decreasing?
I
I
think
mean,
because
I mean, I'm looking at his fouls. He only had 4. So I mean,
yeah, I think the fouls, his foul trouble, and then the last 3 teams have been playing small ball. Even the Pistons, the Pistons, the Warriors, even the Pacers. The Pacers, they had a center it all the time, but a lot of teams were going smaller on us, and kind of takes a Congo away from the basket where he can't protect it. So we've been going a little smaller than the foul problems too.
all right, analyst, talk to me about Onyeka Okongwu tonight. What you rating him?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously didn't have a game that you know, is usually what he does. But I look at the stats. Like Juan said, it doesn't pop out, but it's not like, oh man, this man was terrible. Man. I mean, 2 for 4. I'm looking at 2 for 4, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, a block, 2 steals, plus 14 in the plus minus. I mean,
Mhm.
I'll give him an 8. Um, you know,
Oh,
I think that I think that it's not. It's like, to me, I think a 7. He didn't take like shots like, oh man, it's like, oh, it was like yeah, he probably should have made those shots, but I don't know. He just
4
had one.
fouls.
He just had one of those. Say it again.
4 fouls.
Is it's
Would you
not
give
a
him a 10?
10.
Would you give him a
No,
10?
he
No,
gave
I
him a
gave him an
7.
8.
Oh, you gave him an
Oh,
8?
I just gave him an
I
8.
forgot. I forgot Lou on
Yeah.
Mars right now.
No, I'm not on Mars. I just wanted to hear him say
Oh,
8
you must
again.
be on Mars because how you get a 10? He ain't even say he wasn't
No,
even close to
it
that.
was ridiculous. I was being ridiculous. Like,
I got you. Well,
I think he gets a mixed bag, man.
I'm giving I'm giving him a 7 tonight, and the only reason I'm gonna give him that 7 is because that dude, man, like he could probably defend everywhere on the court, to be honest. I love that trap they did. They did that trap. I forgot who had the ball. I don't think it was Halliburton. They did that trap and got the steal. And did y'all see him go down court? You see that finish?
Yeah,
When he got, bro, he looked like a guard when he went up and the way he laid it in. I was like, hold on, where'd that come from?
he got
exactly.
that.
Bro, he might got
Yeah.
some tricks up his sleeve, man. That because when I seen that, they stole the ball because that was one of his steal. Went
remember
full
that.
court. 2 dudes came in. The way he went up and just laid, I was like, he
You
looked
know,
like a damn guard.
he played on the greatest high school basketball team ever, right?
Yeah,
Public high school basketball
he
team
got
ever.
that LaMelo in him. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm giving him a 7. What did I say? A 7 or 8? A 7. I'm giving him
7.
a 7 tonight, man. He wasn't really like Juan said. Besides that, I can't think of nothing to me that really stood out today. You know what I'm saying? And like Juan said, it could have been just the matchup issue. I don't think he was in foul trouble like that. But I am concerned about his minutes keep going lower and lower. I don't know what Nate is doing with that, but we can talk about that after we finish these player ratings. Okay, next guy. Oh, snap. Here the one that everybody love. Jalen Johnson. 17 minutes. He gave you 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He was 6 of 8 from the field. Missed his only 3-point attempt. He had 1 block, 1 steal, 3 turns, 3 fouls. He was a plus 16. Juan, talk to me about your boy Jalen Johnson.
So y'all know you already know, man. I'm pretty high on this dude, man. Just from the fact that he was a 5-star athlete before he stopped playing at Duke due to COVID and what other reasons he had, man. I'm gonna give Jalen a solid 7, and my reason why is because Jalen's still a little wet behind the ears on the defensive settings and rotations. He gave up a lot of backdoor cuts. He was a little late on some of those 3-pointers in the corner to Buddy Hield and Halliburton. So that's the only reason I gave him a 7. Offensively, he did exactly what he needed to do. Finish above the rim. He know he has that in his bag. And again, as Luke pointed out, he plays above the rim. That's another dynamic. You have to account for that. And then then when he caught the pass on double O with the dribble drop step and just yammed it back, and I was like, oh yeah, he ready. So a solid 7 for me. I like where we going. 11 and a half in 2 games played, man. Like I just need small wins. Small wins.
Lou, talk to me about your boy Jalen Johnson.
It was bittersweet because you're looking at the team, you're looking at the at that lackluster record. You're wondering if a little bit of youth like this could have just gotten us a couple of extra wins in some of those games that we just weren't bringing the energy. The kid was in there, and just as soon as he got on the screen, he was just everywhere on the screen. You're just like, yo, there he is. It wasn't like Superman or Batman, but damn, it was close. It was like, yo, there he is. And so I was excited to see him. I'm going to give him a 7. He was as productive as a rookie could get. He was as negative as a rookie could be. I thought he was, exactly where he would be. I just wish he was further along in our trust in the rotation, because I think he could be an asset. He's a huge dude that plays above the rim.
Roger that. And analysts, talk to me about Jalen Johnson. What you rating tonight, homie?
Yeah, I mean, I like Jalen Johnson tonight. The only thing it raised my eyebrow a little bit was the turnovers. I did see him. But I think the kid's only like 19, 20. Listen, I to see for a guy that is so young, first year in the league, and has not been getting consistent minutes against real NBA players, I think that he did exceptional tonight. I see what you're talking about a little bit, Juan, but Jalen John, I can see his potential on defense with him just being a big body. Now, obviously, with him being bigger, his foot speed's not going to be all the way there. There was 1 3 that he kind of, went up all the way on, but again, that block and those, that steal, I really, really liked him, his energy, the way he played. And I'll go ahead and give him a shocking 10 tonight. I liked it. I like the energy that he brought.
All right. If you like it, I love it. JR, talk to me about Jalen Johnson, player. What you got on him tonight?
Shit, man. I give him a 10 too, man. I mean, he did his job. What we're supposed to do, man. What he's supposed to do, came there, effort, catching lobs and just being another dude on the court that can be productive. You gotta give him a 10, man. Y'all really said everything. Y'all stole our narrative. So I mean, you get a 10, man.
All righty. I'm giving Jalen Johnson a 7 tonight. And the reason I'm giving him a 7 is based off exactly what Juan said. I already know Jalen Johnson can score the ball. I already knew that. I mean, you can just watch his G League stuff. If y'all didn't know, I watch all the G League games too. And he can score the ball. But now we see why he hasn't been getting that much playing time. It's because of his defense. That's why he has not been on the court. And what we don't need is another person who's a liability on defense. Now, when I say liability, I'm only saying that due to his lack of playing time with what I call the first team, the Hawks, not with the G League team, not with College Park. And I'm sure over time he gonna get better on the defensive assignments, but that's where we really need him at the most, is the defensive assignments. And that goes to show me that I don't know what the Hawks and what College Park is doing, but College Park and the Hawks need to be running the same stuff. That way, when you do promote a Jalen Johnson or Sharif Cooper, they're not learning as they go. They just adjusting to the talent level increase that they're going against. But now,
but that's what I was gonna say, is that I don't think that's fair on Jalen Johnson when you see Herter still struggling, Hunter still struggling, all these other guys still doing the exact same problems when it comes to defending the perimeter when a
Okay.
few people when a few passes get going.
Let's be real, Lou. Let's not act like politics not involved in this stuff. You're not-
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Let's not act
It
like
is.
politics not involved. You got a Kevin. You're gonna use Kevin Herter, right? So I'll stick with Kevin Herter. Listen, man, Kevin Herter, bro, he's better than Jalen Johnson. I'm sorry to tell you that. Kevin Herter just like gave you 22 points tonight. He's. Let me say it like this. I don't want to.
Whoa, I don't need you to misinterpret what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that okay, we already think Herter and Hunter are better defenders at the NBA level, and they struggle in our system because maybe our system is not being implemented because maybe we have a fucking coaching problem because maybe we just have one dinosaur who just think these guys are just going to continue to just come out here and just get better on their own instead of implementing some sort of strategy.
Didn't you just hear what Juan said earlier? DeLon was calling out the defensive setups.
Well, that's fine.
Did you hear that? So what does that tell me? They have a game plan on defense. The players just can't execute it because they're not good defensively. Point blank, period. And I was telling somebody that I don't care what coach you bring in here. If the talent don't match what the coach want to do, you're going to get terrible results at the NBA level. Point blank, period. And don't sit here and tell me that because Nate, bro, come on, man. Couple games we have to go into a 2-3 zone like this high school. Come on.
That's why I keep saying that.
Come
Nate,
on, man.
That's why I keep saying that Nate has got to communicate that.
Nate got to communicate what? Nate, listen, this is how the game
what
go,
you
man.
just said.
The coach tell the players what to do.
I'm not talking about
that.
Gotta
execute it.
I'm not talking about communicate that to the guys. I'm talking about communicate that to the guy who's getting these guys in here. That's what I'm saying. It's like when I hear you say,
no. You have to remember.
I've been having.
You have to remember.
What's the conversation between Schlenk and Nate?
Let's remember this. Nate inherited this team.
Not anymore.
He didn't build this team. He was a part of the build.
He was here for this offseason.
He inherited the team. Point blank, period, man.
Right.
And guess what?
Same thing.
Like we say in the Army, bro. You got to go to war with the soldiers you got. Point blank, period.
I will say this, man. Period. I know the Hawks can do it defensively. It's just doing it nightly. If you go back and just, man, I don't know if y'all went back and look at that Memphis game when they had all their stars out there, how the Hawks just beat up on them defensively, was switching, calling out, not getting blasted by pick and roll. We can do this. We can do this, man. We can box out. We can hustle on both ends of the ball, man. Why we don't do it consistently? Like, I think it's just a mental problem. You know what I mean? Like, we just turn it on.
It's a youth problem. It's a maturity and a youth problem. We're young as heck.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now for us, for the Atlanta Hawks, all these games is playoff games for us, to be honest. So hopefully they keep that intensity up. You know, and people were saying, man, we just had to break that 500 hurdle. Now let's see what the boys do.
We get a little run.
Yeah, let's go ahead and close out the player rate. Let me see. I got okay, we're on the last player. We're on the last player.
Hunter, you haven't done Hunter.
Hunter didn't play, bro. Where you been at?
That's right. Well, I give him a 0 for not playing because his ass needs to get out.
He injured, bro. What you want him to do?
70 games next year.
All right,
70 games next year.
Hey, he played more games than AD. All right. For Lou Will is the last player. Then we're gonna get on the coaching staff. Lou Will, 15 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 3 for 4 from 3. He had 1 steal. Let's start with analysts.
Beautiful game.
Analysts, talk to me about Lou Will, my guy.
It was horrible. Didn't like him tonight. I don't ever like him. Listen, I mean, I tell you what, looking at it is disgusting to see him play. It's like I used to love Lou. I used to at the beginning of the season when I was hating on DeLon Wright, I was like, please move Lou back to the point guard. I know we suck, but please no. From you, it's one of those things where it's just like this. You taking all these games off, and then you come back and you don't play the way you need to play. I mean, he get a 5 from me tonight. I mean, to me, his shots are not there. I mean, I believe he missed a free throw tonight or two.
Hey, analysts be going hard against these free throw misses, don't he? God dang, boy. Talk to me, Juan. What you got on Lou Will tonight, my guy?
Man, bro, Lou was some mid tonight, man. Like, I don't know, man. He missed a couple free throws tonight. You know, I was like, no, usually Lou make those. You know, he got he pulled up to the right, which is not as strong. So I usually go left when he shoot. He pulled up to the right, and Jalen Smith smacked that crap into the third row into the bleachers, man. I was like, and then he tripped up a couple of times. I mean, he was drawing contact, getting to the free throw line. So I give him credit for that. He was initiating the contact. But outside of that, Lou was just a body out there getting cardio, man. He pulled a TLC tonight. I give him a 5 because we won.
Okay, talk to me, Lou. What you got, Lou Will tonight? Lou rating Lou.
I think I think because he has a cool ass name, I'm gonna give him a 6. And
so basically, you saying he ain't do shit tonight?
No. Well, I'm just saying that I think I think what he did is
don't do it, Lou.
I think what he did is understated because he's a vet. Y'all don't understand. I think when we play without Gallo and without Lou, we really don't play well. And I think we at least have one of those guys in there, just like Solo. It doesn't matter how much they play, how productive they are, but them being in there calms other motherfuckers down. And so I thought he did his job. I give him 6.
Well, for them personal reason, days off, out of respect for the Clipper.
Hey, you say don't use all that though. You say you can't use all that.
I know.
No, but see,
I know.
Lou
but tonight,
my bad.
Lou didn't really do. I mean, he didn't really leave an impact on the game tonight, in my opinion. I don't think he left an impact. Right. I think he came in. He did what he's supposed to do. You know, he don't really have that scoring load to handle anymore because Bogey takes that. So I don't think Lou is coming in with that professional score mentality anymore. And plus, man, Lou's still working on his album. So, his mind is not there. It's not 100% there, man.
Then Benjamin T gets done with it. Lou does not play well enough for the drama that he's bringing in.
Listen, man, Lou need to hurry up and finish the album before the playoffs so he can focus on the Hawks, okay? Because he over here memorizing lyrics and beats while we trying to play a game. That's why he ain't focused.
Hey, maybe he's at the free throw line. Maybe he's at the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Time to kick it off. Rip it up.
Talk to me, JR, about Lou Will tonight, my guy.
Shit, man. I give him a 6, man. Like you said, he ain't got that green light no more. So he coming out there trying to do the minimum. And he just doing his part, staying out the way. You know what I mean? Just don't mess up the money. You know what I mean? Keep the money secure, keep it in the bank. Don't let nobody rob you. So that's what he doing out there. You know, I give him a 6. He ain't did too much. He missed a couple free throws. That's why he got a 6, man. He stayed out the way. I give him a 6, bro. Ain't too much. He ain't really do nothing.
All right, now we're gonna start off with Juan. Coach Nate and the staff tonight, man. What you rate them as, man?
Oof, yeah. Overall, because we got the win, I give him an 8. I think Nate was riding a hot hand with Bogey. Kept Trey in the whole first quarter. I know that's what Trey do. He plays the whole first quarter now. And Trey, as a result of that, had 8 points and 8 assists. So, I think we scored 40 points in the first quarter. Really got us off to a good start. You know what I mean?
44 at least.
44, yeah. We got a really, really good start. You know what I mean? So, Nate out the gate had a good game plan. When they was trapping Trey was just dumping it off for alley-oops and finding an open man. So I think he, did get an 8. But then later on, I don't like how the last 3 or 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, we started to let Stevenson start to heat up, and Halliburton started to heat up, and I was like, man, come on now, like put the pressure on them to finish this game out strong, and eventually we did, but they get an 8 for me overall. Mainly, we got the win, Southern as need be. Overall, pretty good job tonight, in my opinion.
And what was funny about that was when you speaking on the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. At first, I'm like, why is he putting Trey and Clint back in the damn game? I think it was
Yeah.
at the six. It was at the 6-minute mark, right?
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
over here like, why are they back in the game? And now I see why they had to come back in the game because
Yeah.
then they getting hot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna give Luke credit on that. I'm gonna give Luke credit. Didn't take Trey Young out in the first quarter. You know, he usually take him out
Nate?
at the 7-minute mark. He
Yeah.
usually take Trey out. He said he kept Trey in. He actually rolled, like you said, rolled the hot hand, didn't stick with that stupid routine. Hey, 7 minutes, you have to come out. I don't know where you get that from.
Yeah.
And
He's so old school.
you saw how it benefited. Now, obviously, you know, on some nights, yeah, take him out the 7-minute mark. But I mean, when you got Trey cooking like that, you know, with the dimes, just leave him in there. Because guess what? In my opinion, I think if he takes Trey out that 7-minute mark, I think we lose the game, to be honest with you, because then we not up. What
That
was
big.
the up?
18.
We not up that much. And you see, by not looking at the final score, but looking at that score probably with 3 minutes left in the fourth, all them points was very important that we picked up early in the game. So I'm gonna give Nate I'm gonna give him an 8. Well, actually, I'm gonna give him a 9, an 8 plus I'm gonna give him 1 because we won tonight. So I'm gonna give him a 9 for not sticking with his regular crappy rotation times. Talk to me, JR. What you got on Nate and the coaching staff, my guy?
No, I give him an 8, bro, because you can't get no 10 if you're playing the Pacers. It's just impossible. And it's fair instant. And then, I mean, like bro said, you know, the double team, they hit Trey with the double team. And it's the first game I seen where people were actually cutting. I don't know if that's just the aspect of having Jalen Johnson on the floor and mixed with Clint Capella and Rowland and stuff. But usually when people double team Trey, you see people just standing around. I'm like, that's coaching to me, you know, and I see an improvement, people moving around finally. I mean, if you can make plays off that double team, you can beat anybody, honestly. I mean, you can't have people standing around and not cutting to the basket.
Yep.
Just out there doing nothing. So I give him an 8, man. You know, get all right.
Facts. Talk to me, analyst. What you got, Coach Nate, tonight, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, I give him credit for coming in and telling the guys don't mess this up again. But you know, I didn't like like it's not that I didn't like. It was one of those things where it was just like you said that it was so quiet and that you could hear DeLon calling defensive plays. Like I don't know if Nate told him the plays before. Like I don't know, for some reason. Listen, I'll give him an 8 because, like JR said, it's the Pacers. But I mean, it's not necessarily something that he didn't do, but it irks me, and this does kind of play you know, it does play a role in my player rating, because to me as a coach, you just can't stand there all night. And to me, I feel like that. I'll propose this to you all. Do you think that the players, now this is just a question, do you think that the players would have more energy or more passion if they saw Nate more active on the sideline? Like, you remember when we had Bud, how Bud was very active.
Michael Jordan didn't need all that.
Right. But I'm just putting it like
Kobe ain't need all that. Remember, their coach was Phil Jackson, who was the Zen master.
He's a Zen master, though.
But this is the thing, though, is that those coaches were demanding perfection for a system that they were implementing. It doesn't even seem as Nate has a system for these guys to even be mad at.
Well, you got to remember, like I said, Nate fell onto this team. He fell onto this team.
That's a year and a half ago, my man.
I have something about that, because it's one of those
not a
things
year
where
and a half ago.
It's one of those things
a little
where it's
over a
like-
year, my guy.
But you know what I mean.
It's like, first off, Nate kind of put a bad taste in my mouth when he said that he wasn't even going to be involved with what Travis was doing. But if you know that you're not going to be able to convince, if you're not going to be able to do anything into the off season, why don't, if you're about winning, why don't you make a system or a scheme to go with the guys that you have? Whether you just can't be that stubborn and say, well, I'm a defensive coach, so I'm not gonna coach these guys. Why don't you go with something where, you know, they, you know, to something to their strength and try to, you know, throwing your own little spin instead of trying to go with something. All right, set. If this don't work, I guess we'll just lose the game.
Because the players are not good.
So
Alex,
adapt to what they're good at.
They're
I
not
want
good
to
at
throw this out
defense.
too, man. For as much as Nate's shortcomings, we don't have a good assistant coaches right now.
Oh, where you was at? We were just talking about
And
that a
that's
couple
on
of
him.
games
Yeah, we
ago.
blew them up a couple shows ago.
I know. I know. I was listening, man. Like, assistant coaches can help you a lot. You know what I mean? They're calling out some of those offensive plays. They calling the defensive plays. They letting out the stats. Putting them, talking in Nate's ear. And we don't have that. I said this a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago. We have a bunch of like first and second year assistant coaches who don't really have that much experience. No playoff experience, no finals experience, none of that, man. You know what I
And
mean?
his
they
damn
on
and
the
his damn
staff.
son.
No Nate.
And it's not-
No
yeah,
Nate's in
yeah,
on
no
his
Nate.
roster, that's for sure.
You got
Yeah,
so many
so-
available head coaches
yeah.
out there who can help you out.
Exactly. So where's the Mark
Like Mike
Jackson on our
D'Antoni?
team? Where's the Kenny Atkinson for our team? Where
Exactly.
are these guys? We didn't reach out to these guys. We was gonna go with, because again, we was riding the high off last year. So we're gonna go with what we already have. But in reality, we should have got one or two, pick some of those veteran coaches, because notice
Yeah.
all the top playoff teams right now, they have that at their availability. And we don't have that, man, to help Nate out with coaching, with scheming, with game planning.
And
with you,
those coaches could have helped us implement a system for these players.
Yeah.
And those coaches, if we would have brought in like a Mike D'Antoni or just an experienced coach, they could have helped us implement a system for the guys that we have. But we got Nate's son, we got a whole bunch of no names who, don't get me wrong, they're earning this league. But when you have opportunities like that and you let go 3 guys on your staff and bring in 3 new guys that aren't good, I mean, it's mind blowing to me. I mean, Joe
I don't
Prunty
think I
was
don't
okay, but your
I don't
son
think
and Nick
Nate
Van
let him
Exel.
go. I don't think Nate let them go. Like Darvin Ham left on his own.
Well, Darvin Ham left for Bud.
He's one of the top assistant coaches right now,
Well,
Darvin Ham.
It's like what I'm saying, man. You know what? Some of these coaches, man, they don't want to be on a team that's not good, man.
We good. Stop it.
We were good in the off season coming off the
Bro,
Eastern
they don't want to
Conference
be
Finals,
here, man. They don't want to be here, dog. And I mean, trust me, man.
Nate
I'm
came
sure.
down here.
Listen. One thing I'm gonna say something. One thing you got to figure out is Nate in charge of his coaching staff, or is the GM in charge? That's question number one.
It looked like
Nate
Nate.
is Nate, man.
Because
It's Nate.
guess what? LP wasn't in charge of his staff. You feel me?
Yep.
But Nate
Travis
is.
was. That's how you think Nate. You really think Lloyd Pierce will put a experienced head coach who know way more than him on his staff?
Oh no.
Yes,
That
that's
makes
what he said.
0 sense. As from Lloyd
Are you
Pierce
trying to
perspective.
win? Or you
Then
trying to
let
contest?
Travis hire the staff for Nate.
No, Travis can't even Travis can't even build a team right.
He built the Eastern
Man,
Conference
it
Finals.
ain't no Travis, man. It ain't no
Travis
Travis,
sucks,
man.
bro.
Travis put the
He
team right.
sucks.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
favor
you
Nate,
can't really
but
blame
you
Travis.
talking
One
about
night-
I don't
Travis.
favor Nate. I
Oh,
don't favor Nate. I
hey,
blame Nate all
hey.
the time.
Hey,
Don't
check this out.
I sit up
Go
don't I sit up
Do you
here and
thi-
say I'm tired of Nate's relaxed bullshit that
Here's another question for the group. What if none of these coaches want to adapt to Nate's old school mentality? You gotta realize he's one of the oldest coaches in the league, up there with Popovich, man. Like
That's the
his
problem.
mentality is old, man. Like this
It's
dude been
too old.
coaching since Ray Allen was playing with the Supersonics, like 2003, 2004. And Nate, like you see, we seen his maturity. We seen Nate outside of that Eastern Conference run last year has never made it past the second round but one time.
So that should tell you something, man.
Who,
So
Nate?
why would Travis? This is my thought process, man. The day Travis put Nate on that staff, I already knew Nate was gonna get Lloyd Pierce's job.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time.
knew.
Yeah.
So why
we
would
knew that.
Travis? So why would Travis put an old school coach there when he know this guy might take his job? Why didn't he put in a coach that he thought would be better for the team, but was also a better coach than Lloyd Pierce?
I
See,
didn't think he would go to the Eastern Conference Finals either. That's
Say
it.
again?
Nobody. I said I didn't think he knew. Nobody knew who was going to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? Like we were just
No,
happy to
yeah.
be playing the Knicks. We were
Yeah,
just happy to
no.
play the Knicks.
I think
We the
Trey's
Knicks.
a star.
hey
is
man,
born
hey,
like
hey,
this.
hey, Juan, hey, our expectations be low as hell, don't it?
Yeah.
No, I think
Well,
after you saw the way Trey finishes games, I think everything changed. And I just think we did a piss poor job in the offseason.
Who
in
responsible
addressing
for that?
Travis Schlenk
There you go.
and Nate.
Man, you
Why
can't
did
blame
they get
You
together?
can't blame Travis.
All
Why
Man.
did they get
personnel
together
decisions.
why
All
did they get
personnel
together and build
decision
as a
is
team that
Travis'
they?
fault.
Why
Y'all
did?
keep
It's
y'all
the coach.
keep
It's the
blaming
coaching, man.
Travis.
Well, hold on, guys, real quick. Why
It's the
did they not
coaching.
get
'Cause
together?
1 minute,
Why did they not get together? Nate and Schlenk get together and build a team that could win. They were both professionals. They both been in the league a
Because
long
Nate wanted to
time.
go on
They
Do you
both
want me
vacation.
to tell
should
you why?
work.
Because
You want me
Nate
to tell
wanted
you
to go
why,
on
Lou?
it's on the
vacation.
coach.
You want me to tell you why? It's because just like all of us, we drunk the Kool-Aid. And that's why, remember I asked you, Lou? Remember I asked you, if we lose to the Knicks, do all those players get those
Oh, no.
contracts?
No, they do not. No,
And that's what
absolutely not.
that was my point.
Well,
We
I think
all drunk the so this is just my theory.
this is what I think.
Travis
Though. I
saw us
think
go to the
JC gets
conference
it, and I
finals.
don't think
Watch this.
Herder gets it. I don't think Clint gets it. But
Exactly. So this is my
JC
thought
gets it.
process. Tell
I
me if
think
I'm
JC
crazy.
gets it.
Tell me if I'm crazy. We go to the Eastern Conference Finals, which was a surprise, right? Travis says, you know what? I'm going to lock these players in so we can make another run. That tells me that he believed in what we did. Because remember, Lou, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't have to extend Clint Capella because Clint Capella still had 2 more years. He
Nope.
didn't have to extend Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter had another year in the contract.
Sure did.
He didn't have to give Collins $125 million. He could have traded him. Okay. In the offseason, he could have traded him
Not
at the trade
necessarily.
deadline. And that's why I say we all drunk the Kool-Aid of the
Listen,
run, which
listen,
But
changes.
nah, but man,
Go ahead.
there's
Go ahead.
no
Go ahead.
such.
but
Go
look,
ahead,
but look,
analyst.
but
Go
look,
ahead,
hold on,
analyst.
hold on.
I was gonna
Analyst,
say
go ahead. Then I'm gonna come to you, JR.
I was gonna say in the NBA,
Right.
when
I
you're
never
when
gave
you're
him
working
a
at the
number.
executive front office level, you're not thinking, well, this team may not be this team. And I even think we would have lost to the Knicks because the goal was to get to the playoffs. Actually, the goal was to make games at the end. According to everyone else in the front office, words was to make games at the end of the season count. We did that. Even if we lost to the Knicks, I think some decisions would have still been made. So, I mean, we talk about Travis. One thing you don't do as a GM, and first of all, you'd probably get fired if you did it, is wait until the last year of everyone's deal, and then you look at and then you look at your
What's wrong with
you,
that?
you can't do the
You did
number
that
one
with John Collins.
Rashad, just John Collins. Rashad said it best. The first thing you do is take care of your own players first. We reward, like Chauncey said, we rewarded our players for getting to the Eastern Conference. So that's not drinking the. That's why
That is drinking the Kool-Aid.
that's not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes, it is. Drinking the
we
Kool-Aid.
made it there.
Let me
You're
explain.
saying that because
let me explain the saying.
you're saying
Drinking the Kool-Aid means you believe. So you gonna sit here and tell
well,
me? I'm gonna ask you one question. I'm gonna ask you one question, analyst. I'm gonna ask you one question. You gonna sit here and tell me after that Eastern Conference Final run, you didn't believe this team could get back to the Eastern Conference Finals? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So you drunk the Kool-Aid. That's drinking the Kool-Aid, my guy. Because guess what? Guess what, analyst? If you believe that they could get back, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna make sure you keep that same team together. Am I right or wrong?
But what's wrong with that?
I just said we drunk the Kool-Aid, and now we 38 and 37.
I'm pretty sure if he could predict the future, he wouldn't have done it.
But
what I'm saying,
obviously,
what I'm saying is that we can't. First of all, again, I bring this up time and time again, but I guess we know when Trae Young, the leader, the all-star of our team, says that the regular season is boring. That tells me where the player's mindset is. So that doesn't tell me that Travis is going, well, I guess I didn't put together the best team that just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's part of it, my guy.
These players are mentally not there.
That's part of it, my guy.
They were mentally not there. That has nothing to do with. But
analyst,
that has not. That is
analyst. You signed the players because you believe in them. You believe in everything they stand for. It's not your job as the GM to say, you know what. Let me change my thought.
Analyst.
When you sign these guys to these, let me say this and I'll let you go, Juan. Hold up, then I'm on my bad. Let me hit JR, then I come to you, Juan. Matter of fact, let me let JR go because he's been waiting. My bad, JR. Go ahead, my guy, because he's been waiting for a hot second. Go ahead, JR.
No, you good, man. I was finna say, I can't put this on Travis because I mean, the team is just too trash to put this on Travis. I mean, we come out there one night, we whooping up on the #1 seed. I mean, and the next thing you know, we turn around, we losing against the Trailblazers. I mean, he put the roster out there. If he put a roster out there that can compete. So I got to put this on the coaching, bro. I mean, we beating the best teams in the league. I mean, that tells you right there we got a good roster. So everything else is on the coach. It's a systematic thing. We lost 38 games this year, 37 games,
37,
36 or something.
37.
I mean, I would put it on Travis if we made it back to the playoffs and got smoked again. Then I'm looking at Travis. I'm like, why you ain't getting no big piece? But this is we not even good. I mean, this is systematic. We're not supposed to be this trash though. I mean, we got a good roster, bro. You know, we beating the best teams in the league.
Your record says who you are, bro. Point after
what are you supposed to do as a GM?
75 games, bro. We 37 and 36. My bad. That's more. That's 70 what? 70 what? 37. That's 73 games.
75.
75, and we one game over 500, bro.
Hey,
We are what our
What are you supposed to do as a
Let me rate Nate.
What are you supposed to do as a GM is if you open up on #1 seeds one night and the next night you get smoked by the Spurs. What do you do as a GM?
I'm putting you in an emotional roller coaster.
I tell you, me, if I was a GM, I'll tell you what I would have did. I wouldn't extend Clint Capella because there's no reason to. I wouldn't have extended Kevin Huerter. I would have made him earn his money. Then I would have made him
you a game 7.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You know what I want? Let me tell you something. I'm not paying the player off one game, bro. I don't care about one game. Okay? Let me tell you something. Then you know what I would have did? I would have told Kevin Huerter, you go out there and let somebody. Let's see what offers you get, and then if I want to keep him, I'm gonna match him. You know why? Because he is restricted. He won't go in nowhere. He can only leave if I let him leave.
You be paying him $25 a year.
No, because ain't nobody gonna give him $25 a year. Because
the Lakers would have got him.
So what if
Indiana would have got him?
So what if he would have did? So now, because the same way you talk about how Travis hampered Nate, what if? I mean, who's over Nate? I mean, you look
Travis over Nate. How come Travis ain't fired him then?
What I said was you talked.
You said you can't fire a coach after 1 year.
I said it would look stupid to the GM would look stupid,
and then you say you
firing the coach after one season. I said the GM would look. He could do it.
I was gonna say I don't care if we look stupid or not. I worry about my franchise, but
no, you need to care. You gotta care to look stupid. You know why? Because agents and free agents see how you. Why you think nobody ever came here when the ASG was in charge?
Hey, I got one point. Hey,
go ahead, Juan. My bad, bro.
Hey, man. So analysts pointing out when like your star player can't say the season's boring, man. And if you go back in November, and a lot of people that's long time ago, we had just came off tricking 7 games in a row on the road, man. At the beginning of the season, Clint was playing like straight trash out there.
Oh, you talking about that road trip?
Yes, man. Well, we had Denver, we had Phoenix, we had
Lakers,
the Clippers. Yeah, Portland. Portland, bro. I was looking at those games. Golden State, Golden State put a whooping on us on ESPN. And I remember we were playing the Suns, and we was beating the Suns. And then in the fourth quarter, Trey went in hero mode. He went in hero mode, and he started turning over, shooting logo threes. I was like, man, this team about to be a problem. And it wasn't until Trey said until we lost, the regular season is boring, that set the precedence for the whole season, man, right there, because it was in the media. The media started forecasting. I put in the group, New Pack City, Demond. Shout out New Pack City for those that haven't joined. It's on Facebook. Man, I put out there, I said that slogan right there, like it, the regular season is boring. That sucked the whole energy out of the team. And we're bulletin board material, man. We go off bulletin board material. We can beat any #1 team in the league. It was just shown Golden State, Phoenix Suns, 76ers, Chicago Bulls, Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
But when we play down to our opponent every single time that we can count on our hand. We know
That's
about to win
coaching.
it. Yeah. We know about to beat Memphis. No, we're gonna beat Memphis. You know we're about to beat Golden State. We're gonna beat them handily. When it's time to play the Pelicans and the Spurs of the world, we know we losing this one, dog. They ain't got no
That's
superstars out there. They
maturity,
ain't no
though. We're a
ESPN.
super young
It's
team.
coaching, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's coaching, man.
because you can't tell me. And by the way, you're muted? I was gonna say you can't tell me that them same young players did not take on that same mentality that Trae Young said that. Now maybe Gallo was like, well, wait a minute now, what you talking about? I'm trying to win. I don't know what you talking about. What is
Yeah.
it boring? But like, I mean, to me,
Did you see what Clint said today?
no, I didn't. I had to take a look at it. But all I'm saying is that when a player says that, that means that it's more. I feel like it's someone else. I don't feel like it's just him that thinks that. I feel like when he said that, he was probably speaking for 2 or 3 other players. But I'll tell you what, and himself. But I'll tell you what, the reason why Travis does not get this blame is because we've seen this team do well against the best teams. The issue is that the immaturity, when the immaturity comes in to us messing around with these terrible teams that we should have beat. If we beat these teams and we take them seriously, we're well over 500. So
Yep.
to me, I can't look at GM and say, well, even though you brought back all the guys that made it to Eastern Conference Finals, since they're checked out mentally, I'm gonna blame you for it. I can't even necessarily blame Nate for that. That's the players, and that's where they have to be checked in mentally. You got to get ready for games, but you got to and then that comes with maturity. You got to know, in order to get to the playoffs, you got to play well in the regular season. And so in order to have success, you got to put yourself in the best seeding position, which plays a big part in the regular season. So listen, I think that they'll learn from this year. I think they'll mature. Like, listen, we can't joke around with the regular season because now we're in a play-in game. Where even though it's a tougher Eastern Conference, but we're in a playing game where it's like, all right, well, now we should start taking a lot of these games more serious because we play tough against all the toughest opponents in the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So to me, I don't think that it's necessarily the constructed roster. I think that I just think it's the guys and the way they approach the game.
Yeah.
And 37. Let me introduce my guy, Rashad,
Let
the
me.
Clint Capella saver.
I just called in. I just called in to say I missed the game. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Mics and stuff.
Hey, Demond, I'm out, man. I gotta go. I appreciate it, fellas.
All right, Juan. Hey, salute to my boy Juan.
All
Hey,
right.
don't be a stranger, my guy.
That's
I got you. I appreciate you, fellas.
All right, now.
bro.
Juan, nice meeting you, man.
No, I just called in to say that we 31-22 when Lou Will plays. So
Say those numbers.
we 31-22 when Lou Will plays.
No, I'm still
We
waiting
ain't
for
do
it to go 20-4.
I'm just.
I like it. I like
Somebody
it.
told me after the All-Star
got
break
the
we was
rate.
gonna go. Hey, Lou.
Okay.
Somebody told me after the All-Star break we was gonna go 20-4. I'm still waiting on that.
We were supposed to.
Hey, remember I said 15-9, bro. I said
We-
15-9.
What team?
And that's
like,
still
here's what's crazy, right? All the teams, we beat all the hard teams that I picked to beat. We beat Golden State at home. I had us beating Golden State. I had us beating Memphis. The only losses I had the first game to Chicago in Chicago, Milwaukee, Miami, and I was like either Toronto or Boston. We lost to Boston once. So I'm thinking like, okay, my pick is good until we lose to Detroit the first time. And I'm like, shit, and then we lose to Detroit twice. We lost to Charlotte. We lost to New Orleans. I'm like, these are games that we should win. They were road games.
If we were better. So what does that mean? That means nothing.
It means that we have a sucky coach.
And sucky players.
Oh my God.
Oh, there you go.
No.
I've been waiting on you.
Hey, Gerald. Hey,
Can I get my-
Hey,
can I get my
Rashad. Hey,
rating?
Rashad.
Can I get my
Hey,
rating?
Rashad. Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, Rashad. Hey, Gerald been waiting on you, man. He been waiting on
I've
you.
been waiting on him. I've been
I
asking.
want to slide this in real quick.
I got some data for you.
Get my rating.
Okay, hold up. Let me let
real quick.
I'm gonna let analysts go,
Real
and then I'm
quick.
gonna let. I think Lou got something to say. Then we gonna go to Gerald, so Gerald can. Gerald been waiting on you now.
I've
Go
been
ahead.
waiting on him.
Go ahead, analyst.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the fact that we've beaten all these top teams and we compete with them at a high level, that is why you hear me say I'll take us against pretty much anyone in the Eastern Conference because I feel like we show up against those top teams. So I really do like our chances against some of the top teams in the East because if we don't win, we make it really tough for them. But we do win a lot of those games against really tough opponents.
Gerald, welcome, my guy Gerald.
What's up, y'all?
AKA
What's up, Gerald?
I've been asking.
Nate.
Go ahead, Gerald. Go ahead, Gerald. What's on your mind this evening? Hey, you should be smiling, man. We a game over 500.
Yeah,
I was smiling till y'all started blaming the coach.
and your boy Trey played good defense.
His fault.
I didn't blame the coach.
Who
Hey,
you blaming, Gerald?
I've been blaming
Travis.
Hey, now you got to remember now, Gerald is a coach. Okay,
But Gerald kind of
so you got to remember that. You got to remember what perspective he coming from. Okay, he's a coach, so when you talk about a coach, Gerald be like, "Hold up," his spider senses go on. Like, somebody talking about a coach. Somebody talking about a coach.
The ball, I get triggered.
Talk to me, Gerald. First, before you get on Rashad, talk to me what you saw in the game tonight, my guy.
I'm glad Jalen Johnson got he got a lot of, I'm gonna use a coaching term, he got a lot of reps tonight. A whole lot of reps. I think he got better tonight. Lou was stealing money tonight. Everybody else, I think that was okay. Capella seemed to be closer to last year's version. But, hey, it's a win. We got to get them however we need to get them. Let's keep stacking them.
All right. Now talk to me. What's the thing you waiting on Rashad for?
Rashad said he had a bone to pick with me.
Hold on. I did have a bone to pick with you, but before I address that,
and
let's talk about our record, Coach Gerald, when Lou Will dresses out. As if wins don't mean anything. We 31-22 with Lou Will. So how's he stealing money?
So what? So I would challenge you to go research Lou Williams plus minus in all 53 games that he plays in.
Oh,
I got the plus minus right here.
Dig at them stats. We getting analytical over here now, baby. On We Talk Hawks.
That's the only way I can get him to. He's an analytics guy, so.
And he wasn't good at any of those games.
Hold on, Lou Will is one of the reasons we won. Lou Will's a 0.2 for the season. He's one.
That's
of
his plus minus.
Yeah, plus minus. He's a 0.2 for the
so
season.
in other words, he don't make no difference.
A 0.2.
No. In other words, he's one of the only players we have that has a positive plus minus.
That's because he took all them games off for personal reasons.
Exactly.
Right.
It don't matter. You like it? I love it.
31-22.
We 31-22.
He's right.
In some cases, the plus minus is a good indicator on on things like that. That like plus minus when you say we 31 and whatever, that's the first thing I say. Okay, what's the plus minus? Okay, but let's cut to the chase, Rashad. What bone you had to pick with me?
My bone I had to pick with you is when I said Nate had a terrible rotation. You do not have to start Cabarrot. You can go to a 8-man rotation. And I said I can name 5 now, and you said
those don't work.
So guess what I did? I wrote out 6 rotations, and I wanted to send them to you. I've been asking for you. So you can, Coach Gerald, you need to see my rotations.
So we're gonna go one. So let's go one at a time.
Hey Gerald,
Yeah.
you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta get in our group chat, man.
Yeah,
You gotta get in the group chat.
Okay, I'll be sure to get into it.
So hey, we don't got time for you to name all them rosters.
Just give me your best two.
Let me just rate Nate so I can.
I'll say.
We didn't rate Nate yet.
I have.
Y'all did.
Let me. I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you.
I never did.
Yeah, that'd be better. Just send it to him. Okay, hold up. Go ahead, Lou.
Rate him.
Go ahead, rate Nate. Rate Nate.
Okay, well, you tell us not to use like the whole season to to judge him for this today, because I think I could definitely penalize him for the whole season not being able to find a way to play JJ 10 minutes to develop him, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why there has to be like some sort of difference between trying to win and developing players. I see Denver trying to win, and they also develop Bones Highlands and other players that they need for their system. So I think it's just silly to think that way. But I will say that I started off with 6 because he started TLC again, and he didn't try something different on a team that they should have beaten no matter what. I thought this was a good time to just try something, and he didn't. So I thought that was bad. But we won, so I gave him a 7. And then, I thought the fact that he played JJ tonight, I thought was good. And but I thought the fact that he didn't really let Double O shine, like, I don't know, he didn't really play Double O. He didn't give him a chance to start or nothing like that. So that goes back down to a 7. But overall, I'm gonna give him an 8 because the way he played Trey, while he was struggling on his shot, I thought that was good. I thought that he is shortening his roster. He's playing people more into the 30s. And so he's looking more into the future. So maybe he knows something we don't. So I'm going to give him an 8 tonight.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Hold up. Don't respond. What you rate him? What you rate Nate? What you rate him? Juro?
I gave him an 8 tonight.
I gave him an 8 too.
Yeah, I give him an 8 tonight. I had a retort to
Go ahead.
One main thing.
What's that?
Spending 10 minutes to develop Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
So what I would say is our 4s and our 5s, what is the rotation when we're fully healthy?
It's going to be Colin starting at the 4.
All right, so that's one person.
Gallo backs him up.
That's 2.
You got Clint starting at the 5.
That's 3.
Okongwu back him up.
That's 4.
So that's your starter Hunter. And your first backup.
Then you got Hunter. He plays a line.
Johnson can play. He can play small forward too, though.
No, but
Johnson don't shoot well enough.
But he's saying what is our roster? What is it now when we healthy? Listen, when we healthy, Jalen Johnson ain't playing.
He don't. There's no room when you have 10 minutes to develop a player. That means that you're a lottery team.
That's what I've been trying to tell these cats, bro.
That means you're a lottery team.
Then how did Bones Highlands get into this? Is it because Jamal and Mike
injury?
Because Jamal Murray's hurt.
Injury.
That's why he's in the rotation.
That's why Cam Thomas is playing in Brook.
It's not like think about this. Let's use Golden State for example. When did Jordan Poole start really getting burned?
When you got Clay. When Clay was out. Clay out. You had
Steph was hurt.
Steph was out.
Injury.
Yeah, Clay and
Steph
was hurt.
Clay.
Exactly. Without those two things happening,
he don't play.
He don't play.
I've been trying to tell him that, man, but hey.
So
now, if you want to be in the business of developing players,
go to Oklahoma City. They look at all the one they develop.
Exactly.
Orlando.
So, Gerald, are you saying you think we're a lottery team? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, look, I think Lou said that he didn't understand why JJ couldn't get developed with at least 10 minutes a night. Am I correct, Lou?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you asked if we're a lottery team.
No, I did.
I said he was inferring that.
No.
Close.
No,
we the 10th in the East.
But we had injuries and we also had lackluster play, though. We had injuries and lackluster play. So we had like a double whammy.
I get what you're saying. And here's another thing that a lot of us don't really, analysts probably knows this. So when you have a 2-way contract, it's almost like having a red shirt in college. Mm-hmm. There's a certain amount of time. There's a certain amount of playing time that you can have on the pro level, Otherwise, you have no choice but to sign them for the whole season.
Fully guaranteed contract.
So you have, if you have him on the 2-way contract, you have to play him below whatever that threshold is.
Well,
yep.
I was gonna say, I know what you're talking about. Mays is on the 2-way, Cooper's on the 2-way, but Johnson's not on the 2-way.
Jalen, first round pick.
Yeah, he was the first round pick, so he got a guaranteed deal.
Yeah, he guaranteed.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, and I'll be quick with this. I do understand, like Jalen Johnson, I think that he can develop into something. I do think that, times where we have guys out, I think that we should, look to him more. But I do understand what Gerald is saying. It's like I did say it was like when we already have a rotation. It's gonna be hard to fit him in. It's really hard to fit a player in when you already have like when you take a guy out, you're resting another guy because they're gonna come back in pretty soon. Like with whenever we had Collins and Gallo out and he moved Dre to the 4, basically he took DeAndre out first, and then he put Bogey in, and then when he took her out, he put Dre right back in. So his rotation, is pretty much full, and it's like when we get an opportunity to play JJ, then he'll get that opportunity.
JJ would have been perfect if we didn't re-sign John Collins or we didn't have Gallo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I had some. Well, I got some stats because I've been on my stat kick. I wanted to propose a question though. If y'all want to.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Right,
go ahead. We're chopping it up now, baby. We chopping it up.
Let's go.
So the stats that I found when I was talking about our best lineup, Trey, Herder, Bogey, Collins, Capella, how they're number 1 in net rating, how they're number 1 in offensive rating, number 1 in defensive rating. They have the highest winning percentage. I think there was like a 750. It's 12-5 in games where he plays them. The second lineup that has the highest net rating, offensive rating, defensive rating, and plus minus was Lou, Wright, Bogey, Gallo, Capella. Gallo and Okongwu. So Dre being hurt, when I heard Dre was hurt, just looking at that, I was like, maybe we're better without Dre. So I wanted to propose that. I love Dre. I think Dre is one of our top 3 players, but the numbers say different. Maybe we're better without Dre. And so going into the playoffs, it may be a good thing if he's not available.
Talk to me, Luke. I saw you shaking your head.
Well, I didn't shake my head because it wasn't an impossibility. I shook my head because if that's the case, then that's bad for the Hawks because it's so dependent on Dre excelling to this next level. Like we all talked about at the beginning of the year. If we didn't make any moves, then we are depending on either Cam Reddish or Dre Hunter to make some sort of leap and not be hurt. And they ended up just being hurt. Yep. And so I that's why I shook my head is more of just like, what the fuck is going on with Dre?
Go ahead, Gerald. I know you want to say something.
Yeah. You forgot about Dre.
I think that's one of those analytics where it doesn't give like the full context.
Go ahead. Go into detail.
So reason why with that is I think Hunter's presence, it depends on how who we're playing for one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if we're playing a team that, for one, we give up a lot of second chance points because we can't rebound. That's not necessarily DeAndre Hunter's fault. So that stuff like that doesn't necessarily get calculated into like the rating, without him on the floor. All that good stuff. Who's phone?
Oh, somebody ringing. Go ahead, finish your point, Joe.
Okay. So the next thing is a lot of the players in that starting lineup, they don't play efficient defense. Him and Capella are the only 2 starters that play satisfactory defense at the worst. So if 40% of your starting lineup doesn't play sufficient defense, you're gonna be in a pickle.
Okay, That's what I thought. Now, that's what it looks like. According to the numbers, Trey, Bogey, Herter, Collins, Capella have a 97.8 defensive rating.
And how many games?
In 17 games.
That's not a big enough sample size.
17 games is not? Because, okay.
What about
context?
Hey, how far did you go?
Hey, not if we done played 60.
Hey, how
unless
far
I'm missing something.
Hey, Rashad, how far did you go out? Did you go out 20 games, 25 games?
No, I did for the whole season. They've only played 17 games together. Our number one lineup as far as games and also minutes is Trey, Bogey, Hunter, Collins, Capella, which is the lineup that I thought would be the best. They're actually 6-10, and they have a negative plus minus. They're like 117 defensive rating. They're like 20 points behind that team. And
do we have a lineup where that lineup has played at least say 35 games?
We don't. Like, that's one of my problems with Nate. Like, he has 7 different lineups that's played more than 100 minutes. He started 24 different lineups. Now, for context, right? Miami, who's probably got hit worse than us with injuries and COVID stuff. Remember, they even canceled a game for them because they had like 7 players show up for one game. Miami has 18 lineups that they've started, but they still only have 4 lineups that's played more than 100 minutes.
Yeah,
So
but what
Nate
about this? What
really
about this,
switches
Rashad?
it a lot.
But have you factored in that maybe Miami has like better players than we do?
So he don't have to have his bigger.
I mean,
he don't have to have his bigger rotation.
I'm just saying, like they have Jimmy Butler. You got Bam Adebayo. You got Tyler.
They've been
Hero.
competing for a lot longer than we have.
You got. Well, I'm just saying because I do think that the talent level of the players has to factor in that also. I'm sure if watch this, that lineup you said with Trey, right? That said was like our worst. I think you said one of them was a bad rating, I think. But my thing is this: if Trey was this, let's say for example, if he was a great defender, those numbers would be different. You see what I'm saying? My point is this. My point is this, and then I'll let you respond, Rashad. My point is, I think those numbers can give you can gauge something with that, but I also think it goes actually, you got to include the talent level of the players on the team also. Like, it's like if you look at Phoenix has way more injuries than we do, right? Mm-hmm. They got like 4 dudes out for the season. But I bet you if you put whatever lineup, how many lineups they run, I bet all their lineups better than ours. Because they just got better players. You don't think the talent level factors in that?
I mean, I think the talent level factors in. The problem is when he plays certain lineups, we like as far as analytics, and I understand there are things that analytics cannot factor in, but it's just as far as analytics, we have the best defensive rating, the best offensive rating, and the best plus minus according to just if you take the raw stats and compare them to all the other starting lineups in the league, they're better than all of them.
What does your eye test tell you about those same lineups?
My eye test tells me that Nate McMillan does not have a feel of this roster, and that's why he's played 7 lineups over 100 minutes because and has not established any consistency so that these players can understand their role and focus on executing.
I don't think any team in the NBA has had a consistent lineup the whole season.
Well, no, not really, because everybody got hit with COVID.
Right. So that's not
your regular injuries. But it also, right. I think also for us, when you look at those lineups, when you look at December, we had tons of lineups in December. You know what I'm saying? Because the way that for some reason, and I don't understand how COVID just hit us all at once. But in the month of December, he had lined up starting G League players. So
Right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to build consistency with injuries and with stuff that you can't control, like who testing positive for COVID. You can't control that,
especially when they asymptomatic.
So what you're telling me is that when you say Nate doesn't have a grip on the team, my defense of Nate, I'm just playing devil's advocate, would be, well, he just got here, and it's just like, what did we say when just like in football, when and Joe know what I'm talking about, when the new GM come in, the new coach come in, the first person they look at is who? The quarterback. They be like, they ain't my quarterback.
Right. You want your own players.
You want your own players. So my thing with Nate is, I think Nate is just trying to make it work, whatever he's trying to do, whether we agree with what he's trying to do or not. I don't believe that the players on the roster would be players that he would have if he really had a real say in building the team. So I think he's just trying to work with what he has.
Let me say this response, and then I want to let somebody else. I just want to say this quick response. Last year, when we made a run to the finals, we were 27-11 under Nate. You know how many lineups he played over 100 minutes?
How many?
3.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this. Now I'm gonna ask you this. Hold up, don't leave. Hold up. How many players did we have injured after the All-Star break last year?
A lot.
No, we didn't.
How many? It was only Cam and DeAndre.
It was only Cam and DeAndre. That was it, bro.
Those two are very injury prone.
That's it.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead, analyst.
I mean, maybe Nate does want his own players, but he can't be like scared or like so standoffish, because listen, I watched his introduction interview where 2 reporters asked him, was he going to have any engagement in what was going to be going on in the offseason, whether it's free agency, draft, or trades. He said, no, that's Travis' job. I do not have anything to do with the front office. My job is to coach. He said my time was during the playoffs coaching. So what that tells me is that Nate, if you didn't like the players, if you don't like the players you got, tell him that, same way Chauncey Billups did. Chauncey Billups got there, and it wasn't his guy. So he said, listen, get me some defenders. So it's not impossible, especially when Nate literally said that he wasn't going to be involved in what was going on.
Bro,
that was lip service, bro.
Yeah,
you can't just walk in. That's like me walking into, let's say DeMond invite me over for Thanksgiving dinner, right? I'm the new guest. I come in for Thanksgiving dinner, and somebody asked me, are you gonna have any say on how this mac and cheese cooked? No,
I mean, Chauncey Billups was able to do it.
Chauncey Billups in a different situation.
Well, yeah.
Not really.
He in a different situation.
This year, at the time, he wasn't in it was the same situation at the time. But with Chauncey, I think he probably had more clout than Nate. I think he had more clout than Nate.
You know what? I'm saying
is
I can agree with that.
No,
I can agree with that, because at the end, and
he's a borderline. Chauncey a borderline like Hall of Fame player. He was like a lead assistant.
Champion.
Wait. But Nate is number 30 all time in wins as a coach.
That's longevity.
Yeah, that's just longevity, bro.
That's longevity. He's never been to the conference final.
So what has he won?
Until last season.
What has he won, Rashad? What has he won? What has he won? Nate ain't won nothing.
This was Chauncey's first year as a coach. Y'all are saying a seasoned veteran that has one enough to stay in the league, and 2, it has won at a high enough clip to at least be in the top 30 of wins all time. This guy doesn't have clout. That's like saying
no. I didn't say he didn't have clout.
Like,
I said,
no, Popovich obviously
But
has
you know
more
what?
clout.
But you know what, Rashad? You know what?
Popovich hired himself.
I know.
Yeah, he did. And he made sure he hired himself at the right time too. But let me tell you this though, Rashad. I believe that, you know, Travis, this just me, man. I think Travis is like a I think he like to have control. I think he
That's why
controls
he's here.
everything. I think he controls everything, just like and I think he's stubborn. So
Nah, Nate's
you gotta be stubborn to an extent.
well, he was so stubborn, the owner had to call him to tell him get rid of LP because we suck. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. But my point is this, man. My point is this, man. This team right here, man. I think with Coach Nate, Coach Nate really needs to get another season with this team. I really believe that it was too much interference, man. Like usually when your team sucks, you could really point out why we suck. But you look what we had to go through. You got, let's be honest, Nate, a new coach with the Hawks. Because I mean, at offseason, he been our coach for how long? He been the head coach for how long? What, 3-4 months? You got Trey, saw about regular season's boring. Okay. You got just so much that interfered with us this season. It's pretty, because guess what? I bet if I ask each and every person in here, why the hell are we only one game above 500?
The players.
I bet I can get a different answer from everybody. Somebody gonna find somebody to blame. Instead of us all agreeing like, no, we in this position because of the players. We in this position. No, each person gonna give a different answer because of Nate, because of Travis, because of the players, blah blah blah, blah blah blah.
Because of Lou.
And I think Coach Nate and I think Travis, and you could probably throw Trey into this. I think this season was like a reality check for our front office and for our star player. I think it's a reality check. Nate. Well, that's what I mean when I say front office. And with Travis, with Travis and Nate, I think what Nate problem is, he need to be a little more tougher on the guys, in my opinion. Travis needs to focus more on, also besides analytics, he need to focus on locker room, because every time we get a good locker room guy, they get traded every time. He need to focus more on that, because we don't have that veteran in the locker room to say, you know what, Trey's our star, but he's full of shit with that line he just said. Don't believe that. Nobody's in there to say that. You got Trey talking about the regular season's born. So I think we just need another year. I think, you know, we're going to rebound, whatever we do in the playoffs this year. But I think next year, I think we're going to really start to see this team take off. And with that being said, we got like 3 minutes left, guys. So I'm going to go through each person, give you final thoughts, try to keep it 20, 30 seconds. We'll start with Rashad.
When Lou Will plays, we're 31-22.
I thought he was gonna say something new.
That's all I gotta say.
What you got, JR? Last words.
Man, we're in a bad position right now because I mean we facing the Nets right now, number 9. Yep. So I don't know how this stuff can shape out, man. So hopefully, you know, stuff swing our way to where we don't gotta face the Nets, man. We can't face them. We gotta avoid them at all costs.
My man Gerald, what you got for your last thoughts?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we 2 games behind the 7 seed.
Yeah.
So that's where we need to be.
And my boy Analyst, last thoughts.
Listen, I mean, we're over 500. I think that we're in a good position where we can get another game over 500 against OKC, a team that has pretty much their whole team out. But you know, we'll be, you know, I think OKC is a different vibe. I think that we can go in there and get a win. But you know, overall, I think that, you know, tonight, great night. We did what we were supposed to do, and now we got business to take care of against OKC.
All right, family. My last thoughts is going to be, you know what, guys? It's been a up and down roller coaster season. Nobody that I know that's a Hawks fan, especially in New Pack City, thought we was gonna be in this position and at the end of March. But you know what could make up for that, guys? You know, we could be one of them Cinderella teams in the Final Four, man. We could be one of them. We could be like the New York Giants when they barely made the playoffs and went on a run on the road. Or, I mean, and we can relive what we did last year and be road warriors and just advance. So, I mean, I think if anything, if we're going to get hot, this is the best time to get hot, going into the play-ins.
It's always time to get hot.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, we ain't got no time left.
We got 7 games left.
Every game is a playoff game. So I want to salute everybody that tapped in tonight. I want to salute the chat. Salute my boy Gerald, Rashad, JR, everybody who stopped in, Lou, God dang it, Juan for the first time. I want to tip my cap to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And obviously I got to thank my co-host, analysts here every night with your boy. So make sure y'all tap in, post-game live after the OKC game. Y'all know where it's happening at. Don't be scared to come up here and voice your opinion. This is a channel for the fans by the fans. And then those